Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel. I'm Danielle, this is Haley, and we're Queens of Schemes, and we debunk MLMs and scams with a side of sass. Today's episode is going to be a vibe update, and we're going to talk about all the things that is suggesting that the pyramid is falling.
For anyone that is new here and isn't sure what Vibe is a pyramid scheme that Danielle and I have been following since December of 2024. The leader and the person at the top of this pyramid scheme is Megan Lynch. And over the past few months, Danielle and I have been following and tracking all of the crazy things that Megan and her team has been doing. This has been a really interesting experience for Danielle and I, as we have got to follow a pyramid scheme basically rise to the top, and now we're seeing it crumble in real time. We have already made a couple of videos discussing everything that me and Danielle think is wrong with Vibe and why we think it's a pyramid scheme. I'll put part one and part two in the description of this episode. In today's episode, we are going to be putting everything all together. We are going to talk briefly about the products, the payment structure, which is the 3x10 matrix compensation plan, and the ranks. Then we have a few clips on divine intervention and Megan admitting herself that the pyramid scheme is crumbling. And the people funding it all are her followers. So I hope everybody loves our vibe update. We were not planning on doing a part three so soon, but Megan Lynch basically gave us no choice because the things that she have been up to are honestly, it's insane. I am actually shocked some of the things that she said on camera and some of the clips that we're going to show today. They're going to blow your mind because they blew mine. To kick us off, this is the Vibe compensation plan. It's a 3x10 forced matrix. The essentials behind this are you need to recruit 3 people. And as long as your 3 people recruit 3 people and they do that about 10 times and you have over 88,000 people in your downline, you can earn over $400,000 per month. In order to make the over $400,000 a month, you need to have people recruited and paying a monthly membership fee. And depending on how many people they recruit and the money that they're making, you can make fast start bonuses and check match bonuses to make the over $400,000 a month. And if you think that sounds confusing, it is. We still don't 100% understand how this is going to work, which unfortunately is the entire point when you're talking about pyramid schemes. If you're not confused after looking at the compensation plan, it's probably a legit business. We have a video that goes over all of the ranks and what they mean. The importance of showing this slide is to show you how much money Vibe is saying that you can make depending on the rank that you are. We still don't fully understand yet how anybody is going to rank up, but in order to be a legend to make the $442,000 a month, you do need to be purchasing the legend package, which we are going to talk about shortly. These are the Vibe products. I'm going to read a little bit about what each product is to give you an idea what Vibe is offering to the people that decide to purchase a membership if that ever becomes available. Vibe Tribe is a community and network support system. Join a powerful network of entrepreneurs and leaders, access mentors, and stay ahead with real time strategies. So, this is apparently perfect for those seeking connection, collaboration, and growth. Vibe Global is for content and commerce where business meets networking. This is supposed to be a mix of TikTok and WhatsApp for business. Create content, build your audience, and monetize globally. So, an important thing to point out here, again, with the Vibe Global, is that you only have full access and you're only able to create content and make money off of this if you pay for the Legend membership. The Vibe Volt is the flagship product. So, this is supposed to be an on demand learning hub. Learn, grow, and start earning. Access expert led courses on AI, crypto, Forex, marketing, and more to gain high income skills fast. Vibe Spotlight. Get seen, get noticed, get business. Your brand front and center. Be listed in a high traffic directory, get a custom landing page, and attract customers effortlessly. So, this is perfect for entrepreneurs needing more visibility and leads. Vibe Brandworks. This is branding, websites, and course creation. Turn ideas into income, full service branding, pro website development, and tools to create and launch your own course. perfect for business owners needing branding websites or digital products. Vibe Ventures, funding and pitch opportunities. Get funded, grow faster, pitch your business Shark Tank style, connect with investors, and access funding solutions. This is perfect for entrepreneurs seeking capital, mentorship, or pitch opportunities. Can we stop with the Shark Tank and the Dragon's Den and Kevin O'Leary? I don't know what everybody's obsession in MLMs is with Kevin O'Leary. There's not going to be any Shark Tank style funding in this business. And if it is, it's probably because Megan Lynch wants to steal your idea and market it for herself. And my favorite product, and not because it's the only one that is actually working right now that we get to see, but Vibe Style. Wear the movement, brand yourself, and rep the Vibe lifestyle. Exclusive Vibe apparel, design contests, and products to wear your success mindset. Perfect for anybody wanting to represent the Vibe movement. And the reason it's my favorite is because the hats are ugly.
It looks like Sharpie marker from a 10-year-old. It's
It's
bad.
it's special. And I'm not against anything drop shipping, but do not tell me that you're creating a clothing line and then be using a drop shipping company to just put an image on a shirt and be selling it. Plus, there's a whole other reason why her Vibe style is very morally wrong, which we will get into shortly. So, that is the breakdown on the products and the ranks. We wanted to show this because we're not exactly sure how you rank up. They haven't really specified specifically that this is how you do it. So, can you only rank up to being a legend if you have 7 active referrals? I'd say that's pretty likely, and you have to have product package 2, which we are going to go over. But just keep in mind the 7 active referrals for legend status to make the amount of money that you're claiming, what kind of work you're going to need to put into having that. So there are 3 ways to Vibe. You can be a customer, a creator, or a Vibe partner. The creator, you require a Legend membership. Essentially, if you're not a creator and you don't have a Legend membership, you're not able to make money within the ecosystem. Everybody has the opportunity to make money in the Matrix with either the Pro or the Legend bundle, but there are other opportunities to make extra money, and you'll only have access to that if you are a Legend member.
And if you're confused up to this point, it's okay. So are we. It's designed to be confusing so that people are more likely to join.
There is a one-time fee of $25. So far, there has been 1 round of collecting the $25, and they are doing a second round right now. But there are a lot of restrictions this time around to paying that $25. They're only taking money if you have a US bank account or if you're able to pay in crypto, where before you could pay by certain credit cards, you could pay with your bank account, you could pay with your debit card. None of those options are open right now. And that money doesn't really go towards anything. Well, it does, but it doesn't go towards anything that you are going to profit off of, other than this is how you lock your spot in the matrix. And while you're supposed to be getting a $10 referral fee for every person that you sign up that pays the $25, no one has got their money yet. This is the Elevate membership. The only reason that this membership level exists is because there was so much backlash for the other 2 product bundle prices. So they had to create another membership with a lower cost because they told everybody that the other 2 bundle prices were going to be affordable. Everyone quickly realized that they are not affordable.
I was wondering where this $40 came from. I was confused. And I'm like, what? So I'm glad you just explained that. And that makes me really laugh because the backlash was wild to watch unravel in the WhatsApp group. People were very upset. So that's hilarious that she hit back with a $39.99.
Plus, she posted, what was it, 7 TikToks saying, like, to respond to the backlash, saying that she shouldn't be changing her product price and that it's basically a you problem. It's unclear if this membership will get you a spot on the Matrix. Megan Lynch has been saying that you will not have access to a spot on the Matrix, but Tony, one of the people working behind the scenes, has said you'll have access to the first level. This membership to me looks like it's going to have very limited access to what all of the products are. because it doesn't even really say that they're going to have access to the ecosystem to get the content. So as a customer, if you just want to be a customer, I think that you're still going to need to pay more than $39.99. This is the less expensive monthly membership fee. It's $159.99 a month USD for the Pro membership. And this is why I don't think that the Elevate membership will have access to some of the products, because even with Pro, you only get limited access to the Vibe Vault, which is the flagship product, which is that streaming education bit. So the Elevate package does not really get you anything in terms of the products and what they're selling. So to also be a customer, if you just want to do that, you also need to pay $159.99 a month. You'll be able to qualify for all of the check match and the fast start bonuses, and you'll be able to be on the matrix. But I guess if you don't want to recruit people and you just want to have access to the products and that's what you're interested in, this would be the membership for you. And then we have the Legend membership. And you're not seeing things. It is $249.99 a month USD. So with this membership, you will get access to all of the products, and you'll also be able to go into creator mode in Vibe Ventures and Vibe Style. So you'll be able to create content and monetize off of it. You'll be able to make courses that people can purchase and sell from you and do all the things that Vibe has to offer, even though we don't really know what that is right now, besides a couple of ugly shirts and hats.
And Vibe Bucks.
Oh, we're going to get into Vibe Bucks. And we're going to get into it right now. So Vibe Partner, again, I'm not fully understanding this. This is an extra fee on top of your membership fee. And when Megan Lynch discusses it, this is the legal part of getting paid real dollars. So you're not making real money with Vibe, you're making Vibe Bucks. You have to convert that into real dollars. We don't know how you convert it into real dollars yet, or if a Vibe Buck is dollar for dollar with USD. None of that has been revealed yet. But if you don't pay this, they can't pay you. And she said that it's for legal reasons. When you join Vibe, what you are going to be making is called Vibe Bucks. Vibe Bucks is a virtual rewards currency within the Vibe ecosystem. Your redemption options include USD, event tickets, merchandise, gaming credits, vouchers, and specific products or services. If you do decide that you want to redeem it for USD, you need to do this within 7 days of reward issuance, and Vibe Bucks expire 30 days after a user's last login. Vibe may modify or terminate the Vibe Bucks program at any time. And anything that you pay for, payments for product subscriptions, services, and digital products are non-refundable. I think it would be really easy, I guess, depending on when you're getting paid out, to maybe forget or not use this money within 7 days, or if you don't log in for 30 days, you lose your Vibe Bucks. I feel like there is constraints because they're probably anticipating that people won't do this and they'll lose it, because I've never heard of that before either. I've never heard of a network marketing company saying these are the points or the virtual currency that you've earned, and if you don't do something within 7 days of converting it, if you want it for real money, it's just gone. Then they're forcing you to spend it in the ecosystem, which is what they want anyways. The next thing we want to talk about is Megan Lynch went on tour. I think she's still on tour across the United States pitching Vibe. And I know you see the smirk or the smile on my face, and it's because this is probably one of the most disastrous things that I have ever seen. I can't imagine going across the country, doing what she's doing, making this presentation, and thinking that she's going to recruit all of these people into Vibe.
We are going to give you a sneak peek into what those presentations looked like, and they are nowhere near what she was bragging about. And when she first launched this tour, she made it seem like she was a superstar, like she was the next big hit touring around. But that fell down pretty quickly. The thing that made us laugh the most about this whole tour is she went on it, and then all of a sudden she stopped it. And what we didn't realize when she was saying that she was touring the States, she wasn't doing it on her own dollar. She was doing it on the backs of everybody that has been joining this company. And as soon as they stopped funding her, she couldn't tour anymore. So she did not finish most of the days that she had put down because she couldn't afford it.
In theory, the initial $25 that people paid, which I believe she said she had 12,000 people pay the $25, that is what started funding her tour. That's where she got the money to start going across the country and stopping at all these places and presenting. But that money ran out clearly pretty quickly because that really all started changing within a matter of weeks. And it has been a point of contention about these membership fees, the monthly membership fees, which, if you'll remember from my other video, I explicitly stated from the beginning that I knew this was going to be expensive. She doesn't seem to think so. And she actually says that if you can't afford to pay the $159.99 a month, that you have issues. Vibe uses religious manipulation a lot. In this video, Megan is getting really upset with people because they're complaining, number one, about the membership fees, and things are starting to slow down. When this company first started and we were following it when it was called Join One More Time, people were fighting to get on those Zoom calls. There was over 1,000 people fighting for a spot twice a day to be able to sit on this call because they were so excited about this opportunity. To fast forward to now, I would say 250, 300 people on these calls. And she is really upset, saying that people are not plugging in and they're not following what's happening when there's no important updates to give. The payment system's not working unless you can pay in USD or crypto. We haven't seen what any of the products besides what Vibe Style looks like. And they are no longer giving dates for launches on anything because, truthfully, they have no clue what they're doing. They have no clue if they're going to be able to get the payment system working. They probably don't have really anything done in terms of whatever app or website you're going to be using to create this content and watch it. We haven't seen anything. I don't have a lot of faith that that even exists. And because of all that, she is very upset with her followers.
The world, because everybody who's signing up for free right now, there's 66,000 people almost waiting in line at the Ark, right? They're going to pay $25 and they're going to get on the boat. Some people have already checked out because in other countries, even in the US, oh, I can't spend $159. Well, if you're an adult and you don't have $159, you have challenges. And only thing that's going to fix that is money and your mindset. So
couple things. She's still talking about everybody getting on this arc. She's obviously upset that people are not plugged in and figuring out a way to pay this $25. And the thing about the other countries is people said in the group chat that some of these membership fees were their entire salary for a month. So to sit there and say that if you don't have $159.99 USD to spend on a monthly membership fee for Vibe, that you have issues is disgusting.
It's something a cult leader would say.
I agree that it's something a cult leader would say, and I think she can feel that she's losing control of her cult. Before, she had everybody plugging in twice a day and lots of people doing it, and now they can barely get 250 to 300 people doing that. So she knows that she's losing control and that this group is losing faith. I mean, how long are people really going to continue to try to listen to 2 calls a day, 5 or 6 days a week? It's exhausting, and we haven't gotten anywhere with anything. You can't pay. You don't know when you're going to be able to start paying your membership fees, and you don't know what the product looks like.
And you're not allowed to ask questions.
You can't ask questions. And now, because it's been running for so long and they have these videos available on the website and YouTube, they're actually quite rude to anybody who asks what's going on. You'll see people join the Telegram group and they'll ask, like, hey, I want to know about this company. And they're like, go watch the video, talk to the person who connected you. Like, they don't want to try and explain anything or help anybody out. We're just going to play a brief part of her presentations from when she was in Atlanta to give everybody an idea of what her tours looked like and who she was presenting to and the, 10 people in the room.
And what they were paying her to be there for.
And one of the people in the room was her nephew. So she's really presenting to like 9 people. But go, Megan.
this will be the biggest transformation of wealth ever. Vibe is the name of this company. And the Y is you. Now, I've been in a lot of companies, juice, pills, potions, lotions. This ain't that, okay? I don't knock them, but when I'm talking to young people, it's hard for me to get you to sell Mary Kay makeup, right? Right? But it's easy for you to learn how to share what you do best, okay? What do you do best?
Talking or really just sharing people's stories.
Sharing people's stories. He could do a master class. I'm gonna hook you up with Ace. What do you do best?
I mean, I got really good ideas.
You're really great ideas. He does. He shared with me all of his ideas on the way. I do want you guys to understand I am vibe. So are you. It's an energy, right? I truly believe that I'm chosen, right? And I feel like that it's like Noah building the ark. So you can get on the boat or not, but the boat's leaving with or without people, right? And the focus is to get into the promised land. And this is going to be one of the biggest transformations of wealth. I do want to tell you that I am in the networking space, affiliate space. And my car I bought with cash, my Camaro that I love, used to be orange. And I always tell people, I love orange, but I don't want to wear it every day, right? And in this space, in the network marketing space, people give our space a bad rap. Oh, it's a pyramid. And I'm like, no, it's not a job. You're in the biggest pyramid ever if you're in a job, and I don't knock your job, but we are the boss, right? We choose our time. We do all of those things. I want to show you guys how to be the master of your own time and the creator of your own destiny. So I do want you to understand that we follow all the guidelines. We have crossed our T's, dotted our I's. Our lawyers have lawyers, and we consult. We spend our money.
She loves to say
rappers
that.
spend their money on
Our lawyers have
legal,
lawyers.
right? Because we want to make sure that everything.
Why?
that
Because
we
you're running a
do
scam and you
is
need
correct.
them?
So we're not here to do anything. It's a full disclosure on our website if you want to take a look at it.
Oh
But I
yeah,
wanna
let's just
kinda
skip
get
right
into
over
this
the
really quickly
disclosure where
and
it says
tell
you
you,
barely
ask
make
me a
any
question.
money.
Raise your hand if you are just
How
not
convenient.
getting feedback.
Mhm.
Have you ever lacked support for your ideas, right? Have you ever lacked startup capital? Like you want to start something, but you just don't have the money to do it? Have you ever lacked a creative space where there are other people around you who believe what you believe and you can bounce ideas off without telling your family members sometimes? And they're like, here you go again with this other idea, right? But that's how entrepreneurs, activists, change agents. Imagine sitting in the room when MLK was sitting in the room with his people, and he's like, you know what? I have a dream that little black girls and
Is
black
she
boys,
really
everybody can
talking
come
about Martin
together
Luther
in a
King
time period that they were in, right?
Uh,
and
So when I'm
comparing it to
telling
Vibe?
people that you can make unlimited income with
That was a brazen comparison.
people,
Wow.
Not appropriate.
and that's okay. But 95% of the population are employees or they're self-employed, but 5% of the wealth is on that side. You don't believe me? Ask Robert Kiyosaki. It's in a book, right? Rich Dad, Poor Dad. There are only 4 ways to make money. Either you're an employee,
And that's a highly controversial book for many reasons.
or you're self-employed and now you own a job and you got to make sure you're watching the people who are working for you, or you're on the right side of money where you build in a system. We have a system. Everybody say system. I have a system.
It's like a cult. Everyone say after me.
Tell you exactly
System.
to make us
She
as
does
much
that in
income
her
as you possibly
presentations
can, right?
on
We build
Zoom
a
and in
system.
person.
We also invest.
Zoom is worse.
Partners is-
Put a 1 in the chat if you agree with me.
He's now
Put a
Legend
1
in
in
the
the chat.
$1 billion into a super app that we sit inside of, right? These are our partners. So we have a lot of multi-million and billion-dollar partners, but
Who are-
they're now your partners, okay?
Kevin
You
O'Leary?
will meet them. You
Is that
will
the only
vibe out
one?
with them. You will do all of those things that we've been doing with them. Also, a lot of times
Does he know?
time to manage because they wake up every
That's the
day
key.
and school
Does
teaches
Kevin
you how
O'Leary
to
know?
go
Yeah.
work with somebody else. Think about it. You wake up every day, you clock in at the school at 8 o'clock, you're moved from class to class, you eat lunch in 25 minutes, then you go back to class, then you go home, try to.
And these presentations last for about 2 hours. She goes over the product. She does answer some people's questions. There's a lot of discussion about religion and how she makes millionaires and billionaires, and she has billionaire friends, and she's been in companies before that have made millions and billions. I find that the numbers part of the presentation is probably where she hooks people and gets them to stay, because there's not really any reason or anything that she can show you about the company. But when the numbers come out, I think people are intrigued.
And she very conveniently doesn't explain how to get to those numbers. And if they knew they had to recruit over 88,000 people, pay $250 a month for a subscription to be a part of this ecosystem, it would deter most people because it's unrealistic to recruit 88,000 people. The market eventually saturates.
Well, and she also doesn't disclose that they're going to be making Vibe bucks. She talks and everything in terms of real dollars, which is very deceptive.
And you have to be at a certain rank to be able to convert those $5 into real money, which means you have to be paying into the more expensive packages to reach that.
To really benefit off of anything, if this company gets off the ground, if you're not paying for a Legend membership, it's going to be more difficult to make any type of a profit off of anything that they're offering. What you get access to with the Pro membership compared to the Legend membership is quite a bit. Most of the money-making opportunities and the top-ups and the price matching and all that only comes if you have the $249.99 a month Legend membership. I think the Pro is basically you just being a customer. I think you can make some money off of the Matrix, but you're not getting anywhere near the same compensation as the person paying for the Legend membership, and your opportunities to make money outside of the Matrix are extremely limited. And I just want to take the opportunity to give a shout out to the person who managed to get this video. In the group chat, Megan and her team want people to report this for child abuse because somebody took their live stream and posted it on their YouTube channel. And I guess there is a minor child in the audience that did not approve to be in this other person's YouTube video. So they were telling people in Telegram to report this video for child abuse to get it taken down.
What I think is very ironic about them wanting to call this in as child abuse is the only person that's abusing children in this scenario is them. Megan Lynch allowing children in this conference while she is pitching a scam is highly inappropriate. And the only person we should be reporting is them. They shouldn't have their children there. They're brainwashing their children into this opportunity. It's ridiculous.
I am really glad that we were able to get access to this footage so that we could point out everything wrong with Vibe in this tour, because if you didn't think it was bad enough, it gets worse. Megan has run out of money. Completely out of money. She broke. I am going to play a video on why Danny and I think Megan is broke.
Okay, real quick, so we can get off here. Sorry about that, guys. So the tour is still going to go on some places, but if you don't tell me where I'm going to be and if things are going to be taken care of financially, I won't be able to come there right now. And I'm very transparent with you guys. All my money is wrapped in this company, and now I'm doing a whole funeral, it's a whole celebration, and it's like money everywhere. And so if I'd already said that before, I don't apologize for it. If you want me to come to your city, make sure it's taken care of, right? Before I get there. And don't involve me. Just tell me where I'm supposed to be and where the hotel is and all those kind of things, or I have to take it off the tour. So I'm going to go where people already have made a place for me.
Megan Lynch is on tour, and all of a sudden there is this message saying that if you want Megan to come and visit your city, you need to take care of everything and have it set up, and don't involve her in it. Just pay for it and tell her where to go.
And there's something else going on with what she just shared with everybody. And this part is actually really sad. And her father passed away. And losing a loved one is devastating. And normally that's not something that Haley and I would mention. But in this particular case, what we found was that while she is grieving, she is capitalizing on her experience. So she decided to monetize what's going on. And there were videos of her where she talked about people giving her money for her dad's funeral and that she was accepting cash donations. We didn't see Megan for a couple of days when her father passed, but that's all it was a couple of days. She was right back at it, and she was openly talking about how she was feeling losing her father, and basically started using that as a strategy to guilt trip people into getting into her pyramid scheme. So I find it very unfortunate that she is doing that in this kind of scenario, because it really is sad, and she's toying with people's emotions just to get their money. It's really unfair to be hiding behind that.
What we found odd about her monetizing off of her father's death is also the approach that she took. I can understand if there are people who really feel like Megan is somebody that's close to them and they want to help out and support her in that way. But instead of going a route where you set up a GoFundMe or something like that to raise money with the explanation that this is going towards her father's funeral, she takes it a completely different way and tells people, number one, not to send the money to her directly, but to buy clothing through Vibe Style. So I'm not completely understanding what the benefit is of people buying clothing through Vibe Style, because the only thing that that's doing is putting money in Megan's pocket. And maybe she is going to use that money for the funeral, but you have to understand that with Vibe Style, it is a drop shipping company. So a lot of the profit that is made is taken by the website that's doing the drop shipping, because they have to pay for the product and make it and do the shipping. So the profit margin and the percentage that Megan would be keeping would be a lot less than if she set up a GoFundMe and all of those profits would be going to Megan to use for her father's funeral, which makes me think that something else is happening here and she's probably not being transparent or truthful about what she's using this money for.
The situation really is heartbreaking, but the way that she's going about it is absolutely disgusting.
Megan Lynch did us a big favor while she was on tour, and she admitted multiple times that this is a pyramid scheme. And she goes so far and is so nice that she actually gives us a drawing of the whole pyramid and exactly how it works.
Here's the people, right? All this. Then you got in your back office.
I love that this person zoomed up.
System back there that tracks every person.
Gotta make
that
sure you
comes
can
in,
see the full
who they're
pyramid.
connected to, what they're doing. You can push buttons and you can see exactly what they're doing, right? And then there's
This person ate and left no crumbs. Like, great video cameraing. Good job.
I feel like I've seen this before.
Me too.
It looks awfully familiar.
Hmm.
The next thing we're going to look at is some of the messages that Megan and her team has been sending in the Telegram group chat. We have a little bit of divine intervention sprinkled in with, obviously, you've never ran a real business before.
In the first and second video, Haley and I covered Vibe. We talk about the religious aspects of it. And Megan was making connections with the Bible and religion pretty much anywhere that she could. And she went as far as to create 10 commandments for Vibe. And we're going to go through that.
I'm actually interested to see what these 10 commandments are because I screenshotted them, but I haven't actually read through and seen what they've said yet.
Me too, because I knew you were going to show me today.
So the first commandment is plug into calls and training. Action, attend team calls, webinars, and training sessions consistently. Why? Stay connected, keeps you informed, inspired, and aligned with the mission. Commandment connection. You shall have no other gods before me. Biblical application. Make God and purpose-driven learning a priority. Don't let distractions take over your focus on growth. You shall have no other gods before me? Is that implying that they should be treating her as if she's God and that she should come first, and that's why people need to be plugging into the calls and training? And am I making that connection right?
I like that interpretation. And she has referred to herself as Peter in the past. So I don't think you're far off.
She makes a lot of biblical claims. She also says that she's related to Ruth and Esther. And I wasn't entirely sure who Ruth and Esther were. And somebody was awesome enough in our Reddit group to explain why Megan is not only not like Ruth and Esther, but kind of give us a background on that story. This poster said, "You, my dear, are nothing like Ruth and Esther. Ruth was willing to leave everything she was familiar with to follow God and be with her mother in law so she wouldn't be traveling the desert alone. Ruth had to make some hard adjustments and rely on the kindness of strangers. What sacrifices have you made for your loved ones lately, Megan? Esther risked her life for people. Her people were going to be killed. She went into the king's presence to plead for them without an invitation, even though she knew it may cost her life, especially seeing as she had not summoned her in a while. But she thought only of her people. Tell me, Megan, would you die for the 45,000 plus people that are joining Vibe? Well, would you? Yeah, I don't think so." And finally, Peter. Peter made his fair share of mistakes, but one thing he did not do was pretend to be someone he's not. If you really wanted to be like Peter, maybe tear a page or two out of his book. Oh, and P.S. In history, Peter requested to be crucified upside down because he didn't feel worthy to be crucified in the same position as Jesus was. How far would you go to humble yourself? Or do you even know what humility means? Know this, Megan. The Bible says that when a wicked person prospers, it's because the prosperity is supposed to function as a great big slippery slope right before a great fall. This may be unchristian, but I personally can't wait to see what your fall will look like. Hopefully, you repent and get things right before that time, but I seriously doubt you will. Your real God is money, plain and simple.
Shots fired! Woo!
This is an amazing reply. I was really glad that we got this reply on the post when she refers to herself as Ruth and Esther, because I didn't really understand the context before that.
And for Haley and I, we're not particularly religious, so we did not know what those stories meant. This explains everything, and it also goes to show that Megan doesn't know the Bible herself either, because I don't see how she can reasonably compare herself to these stories. There are no similarities, they're completely different, and it was highlighted by this poster.
Vibe's second commandment is engage on social media. Action, post, share, and interact with Vibe content. Why? Builds credibility, attracts new people, and spreads awareness about the movement. Commandment connection, you shall not make for yourself an idol. Biblical application, use social media as a tool for impact, not an idol for validation. Post with intention, not for empty attention. I'm going to be honest, I don't really understand the connection to the Bible in this aspect.
I have no words.
Well, that's fine because we can just move on to number 3, develop a daily mindset routine. Action, read books, listen to personal development podcasts, or pray/meditate. Why? Helps you stay positive, disciplined, and ready to lead. Commandment connection. You shall not take the name of the Lord your God in vain. Biblical application. Speak and act with purpose and integrity. Guard your words and mindset so they reflect God's wisdom and leadership. I guess you could take that as good advice. People should be reading more books.
I'm not seeing the connections, and I kind of feel not intelligent. Why can't I see it? Is it supposed to be obvious? Because it's not.
Well, maybe number 4 will provide us some insight. So, commandment 4 is invite and expand your network. Action, reach out to potential partners, customers, and leaders daily. Wow, I can't wait until I see the biblical connection to this. Why? Vibe grows when more people are introduced to the vision and opportunity. Commandment connection. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. Biblical application. Work diligently, but also know when to rest. Don't chase success without balance. So, is she saying that you should be harassing potential partners, customers, and leaders every day of the week except for Sunday?
That's what God wanted you to do. I guess she's trying to compare it to, I guess Jesus, who had his followers. Mimic that. Invite people to your cause. I don't know. I'm
But not
grasping
on
at
Sunday.
straws. But not on Sunday, day of rest.
I think we have finally made a connection. We don't have to feel stupid anymore because we know that you can practice this on every day of the week now except for Sunday.
Amen to that.
Oh, this one's a gooder, Master. compensation plan. I'm so sorry.
Oh my.
Sorry, you guys. Danielle was having a really hard time keeping herself together there. So, number 5 is master the compensation plan. Action, study and understand how earnings work and vibe. Why? When you know how to maximize your income, you can strategize your growth. I do not know why I'm having such a hard time getting through Commandment 5. So, we're going to start from the top. Master the compensation plan. Action, study and understand how earnings work and vibe. Why? When you know how you maximize your income, you can strategize your growth. Commandment connection. Honor your father and mother. Biblical application. Build financial wisdom to create a legacy for those who come after you. How is this honoring your father and mother? I didn't even read this part before I started laughing, and that's hilarious. What's the connection here?
I was going to say the same thing. I don't see a connection. It's a little bit of a far-fetched analogy to use the 10 commandments in this scam. She's pulling it at straws at this point.
5 Commandment 6 is share your story and result. Action, talk about your experiences, progress, and why you believe in vibe. Why? People connect with realness. Your testimony inspires others to join. Commandment connection, you shall not murder.
Sorry.
And the biblical application, instead of killing dreams, motivation, or confidence with doubt or negativity, speak life into others, encourage, uplift, and empower.
The way that was presented was so funny because we couldn't see the rest and we're talking about killing dreams, not killing people. But that was very misleading. That makes no sense to me. Why would you have that in your vibe commandments? That's just
That's
so weird.
like you said, this is a stretch. This is an absolute stretch to try to make these connections in some way to vibe. And I feel like if it's supposed to be relatable, you probably shouldn't need to know a lot of things about religion. I don't know much about religion, and I shouldn't really have to understand the connection between what they're saying and the references that they're making from the Bible. Number 7 is hold yourself accountable. Action, set personal goals for your business and track your progress. Why? Success and vibe requires consistency. Accountability keeps you focused. Commandment connection, you shall not commit adultery. Biblical application, stay faithful, not just in your relationships, but to your commitments, vision, and personal integrity. Don't cheat yourself by cutting corners. This is a big stretch. Again,
What the actual F word is going on? That is the weirdest pitch I've seen her do. And we've seen some pretty bad ones. We made a whole video on it. This is taking the cake.
and I can't help but feel that the requires consistency and track your progress is that they have made an Excel spreadsheet that you can download to track your 59,000 people in your downline. And that is how you're going to max out the pyramid in, I think it's 10 weeks. The 8th commandment is duplicate the system. Action, teach new members how to follow the vibe system effectively. Why? The more people learn and apply the system, the faster vibe grows. Commandment connection, you shall not steal. Biblical application, don't withhold knowledge, share freely so everyone can win. Growth comes from giving, not just taking. I don't think you're stealing anything from anybody if you're not sharing vibe. In fact, if you are sharing it, you're basically stealing $25 from them if they want to get started.
Thank you for pointing that out. Thou shalt not steal. But let me do it anyways.
Commandment 9 is develop leadership skills, action, take initiative, help team members, and be a problem solver. Why? Strong leaders attract more success and create momentum. Commandment connection, you shall not bear false witness. Biblical application, lead honestly. Don't overpromise or mislead. Be a person of truth, credibility, and trustworthiness. Is this a guide? Is this a guide on how not to be like Megan Lynch? I need to know.
Literally. Real cheeky coming from her. These got worse and worse as we went through. That was too much.
Who's writing this? The person that is writing this, I don't know how they sleep at night, because if it's not Megan herself, which it's probably not, it's somebody behind the scenes creating these posts. This is outrageous. Don't overpromise or mislead. Well, what I can promise you is that if you join Vibe, you will be misled up to the very top of the pyramid scheme, and then you're probably going to get pushed off the edge. Bye, Vibe. Everything in this commandment is ironic, especially the part that says don't overpromise or mislead. She has misled everybody who has paid their $25 into what that money is going to, and overpromising what this company can offer for them. Because right now it can't offer anything. You're losing if you join this company right now, because you're paying $25 to only lock your spot in on the matrix without knowing if that matrix is ever going to open and if those products are ever actually going to be available besides Vibe Style.
Another thing that's hilarious with this post is the choice of word trustworthiness. Girl, Megan, we know you've been caught in multiple scams. You've been doing this, you have a history of this. So, no, I don't trust you. Neither should anybody else. And it's laughable that you're preaching to people to be trustworthy. Do it yourself. You're not trustworthy. There's nothing about you that we can trust.
You've also misled these people into recruiting other people and misleading them into nothing. And anybody who has been recruited into Vibe has been misled, because nobody's allowed to be honest about what's really happening, because there are so many red flags and people are starting to recognize them. That's why we went from having over 1,000 people fighting to be in Zoom calls to 200 people. And our final 10th commandment is stay committed and keep the energy high. Action, be consistent, stay excited, and never let obstacles stop you. Why? Vibe is about visualizing your breakthrough. The more energy you bring, the more success follows. Commandment connection, you shall not covet. Biblical application, focus on your own blessings and progress instead of comparing yourself to others.
I hope somebody corrects me, but I think you shall not covet is related to envy. And what I think is very particular about this commandment is I feel that Megan is telling people that they cannot be jealous or envious of her. She's the one at the top of the pyramid. She just bragged in one of her presentations that she bought her car cash. The lives and the meetings that we see her doing them from, the house looks really, really nice behind her. So I feel like this is her sneaky little way of saying, you can't be mad at me or jealous of me. It's against the 10 commandments. That's my take. That's my 2 cents.
I think you make a good point, and it does fit with this, because she's also saying never let obstacles stop you and visualize your breakthrough. So essentially, if other people are seeing success and you're not, you need to be more consistent. Don't let that obstacle stop you, and visualize how you are going to change that. And she does talk a lot about changing your mindset, and that's how you get success. Unfortunately, when we're talking about pyramid schemes, that's not how that works. The last thing we want to discuss is why we think that, on top of everything that we've already showed you, why Megan Lynch's pyramid and Vibe is crumbling. People are starting to notice the issues with Vibe, and they are pointing it out when they get the opportunity in the group chat, and they're criticizing the pre launch. And one thing that I find interesting is that essentially the people working behind Vibe and Megan are saying that this is all part of it being a pre-launch, and that you should expect these type of technical difficulties. So in this message here, you can see somebody saying, why so many technical problems? And the admin response is, this is pre-launch where we work through glitches. It will get smoother, but this is where legends understand, work through it, and know things that are being fine-tuned as we go. It will be worth it. Hang in there. Now, this might seem like an innocent message, but if you are a part of Vibe, the part of being a legend is completely having blind faith in everything that Megan is doing and never questioning anything that happens and only being focused on recruitment. That message is consistently portrayed of what it means to be a legend from Megan Lynch and her team when they're making presentations. Now, the problem that I also have with this is I'm not going to go through and read all of these messages, but again, they're kind of blaming this on being a pre launch and that this is a business savvy technique and that they're fixing the platform. They are fixing the payment system because that's still not up and running. Product delivery, well, we don't have any products, so they're still working on that. And customer support. The problem that I have with this, and I understand that there's going to be growing pains for any new business, is that these are some of the basic fundamentals of having a business running and started. These particular things should have been figured out before pre launch. Your payment system not working is kind of number one when we're talking about building a business. If people can't pay and you can't pay them, that's a huge problem. The other big issue is the product delivery. These are digital products, and we haven't seen any of these. So, this is going to be a huge problem moving forward because there's no proof that any of these exist or that it's being built. I am still concerned that they've apparently been doing all of this work behind the scenes to get this ready, and they can't even show the people who have paid their $25 and are plugging in twice a day, up to 6 times a week, what their product is going to look like, especially the Vibe Vault, which is the mentorship courses. Can they not give us a preview on how that platform's going to work?
Can you imagine the brain rot someone must get sitting in those meetings twice a day, 6 days a week, because they want to be a legend?
And I think that's all part of it at this point because I'm even asking myself this, why people, even 250 people, are still plugging into these meetings. I think in some aspect that is almost the only logical explanation, is that these people are so brainwashed from these meetings and for some reason they are so committed and feel this very strong connection that they continue to attend these meetings because it would be exhausting. We talked about that before. The meetings are sometimes up to 2 hours long, twice a day. And they've already told people that they don't like when they're doing dishes or doing other things and they're not 100% completely paying attention.
And I'm sure at some point, for many, there is the concept of sunk cost fallacy, where they're hoping to recoup their costs as long as they stay in and keep trying. So, for anybody who has been paying with their crypto or did find a way to get the funds to Megan, they're going to want to make that money back. So, it's kind of incentive for them to see this thing through because they want to make that money back.
Well, and another aspect of that is technically it's only $25. They haven't asked anybody to pay the higher membership fees yet. So at this point, really, I think that the other half of people who maybe not be thinking they want to recuperate their $25 back is that there's people who are like, okay, well, if it doesn't end up working, I only lost $25.
It's not the end of the world.
Exactly. The last Telegram message I want to show is just for a good laugh because Megan is also defending her business and saying it's very evident that most people haven't ran a business before. They haven't been top earners in network marketing companies before. They haven't led a team that they built to 300 to 500 people before. So it's important for most people to just follow the leader until they become the leader. I'm sorry, what business have you ran before, Megan? Like a real business that you've ran? You can't criticize people and say they haven't ran a real business when, I'm sorry, sweetheart, but neither have you.
The only thing she knows how to run is a scam because she's done that many times in the past. We just said that, and we've been saying that in all our videos.
And for most people, it's not a flex that you've been at the top of a network marketing company. There's actually an entire population of people who would probably judge you and look down on you for saying, yeah, I was at the top of an MLM.
And here we go again with victim blaming. And we see that a lot with MLM tactics and pyramid schemes. And if they can't recruit 300 to 500 people, it's their fault. They don't know how to run the business, and they make sure to redirect the blame away from the person being victimized in this scheme and having them believe that it's them, not the opportunity. In this episode, we talked about why we think Megan is broke, which is mostly around the fact that she has her followers paying for her trips. Since she canceled her tour, it's obvious to us that people stopped funding her to go on this tour. And we showed you what the presentations look like. She basically broadcasted that it is a pyramid scheme. I don't know how many people walked out of there feeling warm and fuzzy about what she was trying to pitch. We also showed you the 10 vibe commandments, which are completely unhinged, and we assume she is grasping at straws at this point to keep her followers controlled. And then lastly, the payments have only been working for crypto and US money. So that tells us again that this is not a legitimate business.
If you are invited to a meeting or you're asking to join an opportunity and you see any of these red flags, there is a very good chance that you're being recruited into a pyramid scheme. If you're not convinced this is a pyramid scheme, I've got a compilation of videos, some you've seen and some you haven't. While you're listening to this, ask yourself, is this network marketing or is this a pyramid scheme?
And he taught me how to do this business like a real business. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is not, oh, it's one of those pyramid things. Like, we make more money than your basketball players, your football players, all of them combined. Vibe, you are our vibe. We don't sell juices, pills, potions, lotions. We are in the network marketing space, and a lot of times people think network marketing is a scam, it's a pyramid, but we make more income than anybody combined. I do want to give a very quick disclaimer because we are a real business. I always say our lawyers have lawyers. We put our money in the right places. So when you start a business, especially in the networking space, you have to make sure that you cross T's and dot I's, because believe it or not, the government really doesn't love our industry, because this is the industry where we can create something out of nothing. Does that make sense? We can create something out of nothing. And so you have to cross T's, dot I's. And a lot of people say, oh, is it a pyramid? I always say it's the strongest one you're ever going to have because you're on top of it. Here's the people, right? All this. Then you got in your back office, when you log in, you have a whole tracking system back there that tracks every person that comes in, who they're connected to, what they're doing. You can push buttons and you can see exactly what they're doing, right? And then there's a result. It does look like a network marketing company, but it's really not.
Not even Megan Lynch herself can decide if this is a network marketing company or a pyramid scheme. We can't say for sure, but what we can tell you is we're only interested in the pyramids in Egypt. We want to know what everyone thinks. Is this a pyramid scheme and is the pyramid crumbling? Let us know in the comments. And if you like this video and you want to see other videos that cover scams and MLMs, make sure that you subscribe to Queens of Schemes on YouTube.
Thank you.